Hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is Alan and I am into collecting watches, reviewing motorcycles, some tech gear, and knives. Now, I think it's just about the right time to do the state of the collection for my watches. My watch collection is very modest. It is by no means expensive, and I would say that this channel would be the budget of all the budget watch channels in YouTube, period. My watches span from pawn shop buys, secondhand watch in Facebook. My watch collection would be divided into very specific groups. One would be divers. That's my go-to watch for all occasions because I just need the waterproofing and the robustness of a diver. Second would be some field watches. And the third would be the quartz. So I have different cases for all of those. Divers, field watch slash dress watch if I have a dress watch, because I rarely do dress up. The only thing I dressed up would be at the DGR. I'll put that link somewhere here. So dress watches is really not a big thing for me, but all the other things, the divers, the field watch, and the chronographs and the battery operated quartz, I divided into three. So what are we waiting, Shed? Let's go on and flip this camera around. Check out my watches. Okay then, let's start with the first case. This is the case for my divers collection. Now this watch is what started it all. This is the very first watch that I bought with my very own cash when I graduated high school. I think I got this for around 350 pesos. And if you can see, that's already a diver's watch. So my diver's bias started early on. And this is all I can afford. This is by no means an original Seiko, but it's branded as a Seiko Titanium. And I wore this for the first half or my first 2 years in college and the summer of graduating high school. The clicks in the bezel is still really good. And I learned early on how to time things because of that bezel. This watch taught me a lot. Very first that I bought myself. Next up is this one. This one I already bought this just recently. I just like these vintage Seikos, especially this one with this squarish Omega-esque case. I can't say no to it. Part of the collection. Now this one is an SKX 025J, a Japan model. I got this because of the loom. Very strong loom. And when I saw it, it's like, yeah, I like this. It's a bit small for me at 38mm, but you know, wearing small watches at 38mm, it's not that bad. You have a time and place for them. By the way, if you haven't seen the watch size video that I made, I'm gonna be linking that video here, because if I do wear all of these watches, we're gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be a long time for me to finish this video. So I'm just gonna show you the watches and not wear them on my wrist. Wrist check. This is my Sea Urchin SNZ F17, I think, in an aftermarket band. SKX 025J. And then I saw this, a Seiko 5. When this got discontinued, this Seiko 5 model took its place. Main difference is it doesn't have a screw down crown, and this has got a display case window at the back. And I just like having both of them side by side. Same size, same specs. This one just has got a very slight case variation, but the loom is not that strong in here as compared to this one. And small lady diver, 4205. I think this is a 015K. Because I have a small one, it's just nice to have in a collection. This one is all original, and I really like the bezel clicking on this one, so I got it, although it's bi-directional. And my only Citizen diver in the lot. This is a... what is this? I really like this Citizen diver, by the way, because of its ability to hand wind. Very important. It gives you much greater power reserve because of the hand winding. And of all this, I I tend to wear this a fair amount of time. I tend to wear this a lot. It's different. It's kind of like the 3 o'clock crown position. It's, it's nice. Then the only kinetic that I have. This is a kinetic SKJ004P. It's got for the Seiko's part, this is the one that's got a Saflex crystal, so it's like a sapphire crystal hardlex. And I got this because it's the only two-tone watch that I have. I don't exactly like to have a gold or two-tone watch, but this one, it stands out for what it is. It's a vintage watch, so the only kinetic watch that I have, and it has still got a very good power reserve of 20 seconds when I do the test here. I'm gonna do a video of this one. I'm just showing you guys that this is one of the nicest that I have. The first of the SKX. So this is the all popular, all conquering SKX 007 with an original strap. One of my go-to watches most of the time. I don't like to wear leather straps or NATO straps because I have a very sweaty skin. Not acidic though. That's a good thing. But the bracelets, the stainless steel bracelets, I prefer them as compared to any other bracelets that I have, or any other straps, or a leather strap or a NATO strap. I'd go with a bracelet. This one I got recently also. This is an SKX 007 mod. This white dial came from SKZ 269. There's a local watch shop here that they did this mod. They got this dial from that dive watch, placed it on an SKX 007 case. And I really like this because this has got a very strong loom. I mean, this watch has got the strongest loom of all time, of all my watches. Very strong loom. Now, this probably is my most favorite of all the SKX's line, not the SKX 007, but the SKX 031, which is the Seiko homage to the Rolex Submariner. This is the SKX 031, and I've modded it with an aftermarket bigger crown here. And this is the SKX 033. 031 is the black one, 033 is the Pepsi. And I don't put them in bracelets. When I go to wet places, I prefer the rubber strap. And these ones get the commission for being in places that you don't want to be. But I still keep them for really bad purposes. I use this Citizen. I don't know. Now this is the last of my diver. This is a 7002 700A, and I think I will be modding this in a future video. So stay tuned. Really nice divers. I really like divers because I can mod them and I just like collecting them. And yes, this one is my sea urchin. So before that, I have this. It's a jewelry case that I borrowed from my wife. In there is the few of the watches that I have lying around that will not fit the cases. Next up is my field watch slash dress watch case. Start with this one. Now this is the watch that my father gave me. This is the watch that my father was wearing when he was working all throughout the years, just so that I can go to college. And I actually wore this in the first part of my college days also. And this is of all the watches here, this would be the most special watch of all. Just basically because it is an heirloom from my father. Start here. This is a vintage Seiko 5 Sports 6319-6000. The nice thing about this one is the bezel inside. It's adjustable via this recessed crown. Very unique piece. And I actually have two of them. This one has got a blue dial, a very nice blue dial, and it doesn't have the rotating bezel like this one. Very nice watches. This just when you collect watches, it's just one of these things. The Omega-esque. I always call this an Omega-esque case. I was wrong. I said that I have one two-tone. I forgot. I also have this one. And this one, the militaries. And I still have the other one here on the jewelry box. I don't know if it's also a military, but they kind of look the same. So I have this TV also. I call this a Seiko 5 TV because of the TV. And this last one, which I really like, which is the same as the divers with the bezel, the case size. They have that same case. But I love collecting these kind of watches. It looks good on my wrist. They don't look bad. And they're automatics, and you can just bring them anywhere and not worry about having batteries. See? That's a 7.5 inch wrist, and this one looks nice on my 7.5 inch wrist. That's why I like them. Very functional watches. Then this one, this is my thinnest watch. This is a Citizen 7-star Deluxe. A vintage watch that I found here lying around in Davao, so I need to get this. This is a Titoni Cosmo King. Automatic, hand wind, a very nice watch, Swiss watch. Just want to match this with my dad's watch. And another Citizen. This one, I have my local watch guy, Jay. He sent me this watch, and the moment I saw it, it's like, alright, I like this watch. I never got to let it down. I wore it in my wrist, and then I just kept wearing it. One of the nicest watch with the green dial. It's got at first look, when you look at it, it's like that has got an Indiglo built into it, and it's not even a battery operated watch. It's an automatic. By the way, the first and the second cases that I have, these are all automatics. And the watch that I was very very happy to get, a vintage Seiko Superior GMT Blue Dial SSA001. Although it's a little bit battered and all, it is still a very nice watch by any standard. It has got that presence when I wear this. It's a nice watch. And I will be reviewing each of these watch individually. This one. This could be the most, if price was the only object that all these watch would be based in, this would be the most expensive watch that I have. It's a Japanese watch, a Flying Tiger Tourbillon. This watch is actually a Tourbillon. And I was very lucky to have this, get this watch. And I'm sure to have a video of this one, because when that one is moving, it's just so nice to look at. And the last for the dress watches here, is this watch. I'm sure you, if you haven't seen that video, put that link here. This is the 007 Skyfall Omega Seamaster prop watch. Not real, I cannot afford the real one, but if you want to have the feel of wearing a James Bond watch, this will be the way to go. The final box in my collection, and this final box would be my Quartz, my battery operated watches. I keep them separate from my automatics just because this is my grab and go watch box. Each and every one of these watches, they're functioning with a battery, and I just need to replace them, and then they're good to go, and I can just grab each and any one of this without winding without adjusting the time, and I know the time would be right for all of these watches. I do have several and that I keep on the jewelry box, and this is the first that I'm gonna show you. This is the Reginald Submariner homage, and a very nice watch actually. It just doesn't fit there anymore. Besides that, I do have the vintage Casios. I have two of them, the Casiotrons. For their claim to fame, this would be the first digital LCD watches of them all. I have the red one, which has a light. Oh, there, light. And this one doesn't have a light. Another one from the jewelry box is my Timex Weekender beater watch. Just like to beat on that watch. And then my Casio Arnie watch. Again, these are all battery operated, okay? Quartz watch. And then this watch, the Illuminator World Time, given to me by my sister. I have worn this watch so much that it is so beaten up, and my most beat up watch ever. My go-to watch when I didn't have all these watches. Then a G-Shock that I just bought for. So I have a G-Shock. This is actually not an authentic G-Shock, but it's a made in Japan G-Shock. From what I understood how these things go, this will have all the qualities of the waterproofness and everything. It just doesn't have the module, the World Time module. But for durability, I mean, you can just throw this watch all around and still be functioning. So let's get to the case first here. This would be a Casio Edifice, and I have a soft spot for chronographs. This line here, they are all chronographs, and this one here not chronographs. Yeah, I have a soft spot for chronographs. You stop that and then you press this, and then that just resets. I just love that. And I got this watch because of that. And this watch, a Fossil Jake chronograph. You know, I don't care much about Fossil, but this one, when I saw this, it's got that original leather band, and I just got to have it. Nothing special about this watch. I don't wear it that much. This one is one of the most special watches that I found to be in the chronograph one. This is the K2000 by Alba. And what this watch is press that, it starts, and then you press, I'm sorry, you press stop. I don't know how to operate it, I forgot. It's got 5 buttons, see? I'll make a review for this watch if you want, but I forgot how to operate it. A very nice watch. I really like. It's a vintage watch, so you can notice I like vintage watches. And this one is a new Seiko chronograph. Nothing special about the watch. I just like this because change it with a leather strap, and it's looks vintage. This watch I really like because just it's a Raymond Vey. This is my go-to dress watch if I did wear dapper dress suit. So it has got a chronograph function. It's the W1 8000 Parsifal. So stop that, and then it just doesn't go as fast, but it just looks really nice. W1 8000 Raymond Vey. This watch I got because of the name Cowboy. Really nice strap, really nice bracelet. I like how this bracelet feels, and that when I wore it, it's like, okay, I need to have this. At the same time, it has this. The red minute, the black minute hand doesn't do that, but just the small one and the 6 o'clock position, and it just made in France, by the way. Cowboy. Now this one, the Nixon Ranger 40. I replaced it with an aftermarket mesh, stainless steel mesh, because it just looks good on that one. And this is a beater watch. This watch can go really well, and it has got that big, chunky. It's not a spring bar. It's a screw-on bar. It's big and thick, and I don't think this would be nice watch. The Nixon Ranger 40. Then I have this, the lightest watch that I have. It's a very light watch, and it's got that, yeah, Timex Indiglo. It doesn't have that strong battery anymore, but still going, and a very nice watch, the Timex Expedition Shock with the original leather strap. Very durable watches, these Timex Expeditions, and I really like this one because of its lightness. Now another Timex that I have, and this one I wore for the better part of after graduating college. Me and my sister went to Singapore, and I was wearing a Casio watch similar to this one. And when we rode the roller coaster and you raise your hand up, the Casio watch just flew out of my wrist. So after we got back from Singapore, I got this watch, and this would be the Timex. So I'd be getting more into this watch because from what you can see from this watch, it's my taste was already leaning into some sort of bias or certain taste that I just realized recently when I started doing this collection. But my taste for choosing watches before already is something like this, and I really like this. I just recently got this serviced and polished, and it's working perfectly well. My go-to watch, and I think I would say the most good times wearing that watch. Lots of memories. This is a Kenneth Cole Reaction. This was given to me by my sister again, just more recently, maybe 10 years ago. And it's really new because I just kept it in the box. It's more like a stealth dressy watch, and I did not want to damage it, so I rarely wore it. But recently, when I got into watches, I resuscitated it. I changed the battery myself, and now it's running perfectly. And I would be doing a review of this watch, most probably, because this is a really nice watch. Thin, fits to my wrist really well, and it's just kept in the box. A very new watch. This is a watch that my focus on the watch tend to be jumping from one point to the next, but this one, the rectangle ones, I just got a penchant for liking them most recently. This is a Bernard H. Mayer watch, Swiss watch. It's got a Swiss movement, and it's a limited edition. Got the bubble sapphire. This is already a replacement strap, but this watch just looks very nice, and I just figured out that my wrist actually looks good with rectangular watches, so I got this watch, Bernard H. Mayer. And this one too,
Uh, since we're on that rectangular, this one is an oval because of that one. But this one I really like as well. This is a Haurex, made in Italy, Recurvo. The only thing that I don't is just that steel. It's folded, so it's kind of like disconcerting. You think you've got a domed or magnified crystal, but no. And the most special thing about this is that white subdials, they are mother of pearls. And this watch is a really nice watch that I also love to wear on an aftermarket leather. Yeah, I guess that's it. Two automatic cases, one quartz battery cases, and that will be my watch collection.
So there you have it, folks. You've seen my watch collection. Like I said, it is by no means an expensive watch collection, and I would claim that I would be the cheapest or the most budget, affordable watch collection here in YouTube. I said it. Here in the Philippines, we don't have a specific watch collector, but I did find one guy, Carlo Ople, Carlo Watch Vlogs. That guy has a sick watch collection. And he has a bigger channel which are all sneakers and tech, but his watch collection vlog, you guys should check it out if you are here in the Philippines. So I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments on what you think of my watch collection. It's still in a bit of a flux. It's moving. For now, I do have the volume, but I would want to be thinning it out to get some nicer pieces. Or I can go to the opposite route and just do the volume thing. I like variety and I love collecting. Collecting has never been about the value of one piece, but how one piece or one line of watches, or not just watches, or any line feels to you. It's just how you feel, and it's what you want, and it's never what the other people want. You know, don't do that. Just collect what you can afford, what you can have around you, and don't be stuck in an idea that you need to have this, I need to have this so that I can feel nice. It's never about that. Feel nice about what you have, be content, be happy with what you have. And that's how collecting would all boil down to me. So once again, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next video.